Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, king of the game. I believe in you, that's what he'll say. Nice and kind, leading cobalt ice. He's a blue, cute, and deadly little guy. Seeing through the fog, old gods he's slayed. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, king of the game. I believe in you, that's what he'll say. Nice and kind, leading cobalt ice. He's a blue, cute, and deadly little guy. Seeing through the fog, old gods he's slayed. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, 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 Go7.
Hello, hello. Hope everyone is doing well. Turn up my volume. No double audio. Microphone's working. For some reason, the chat has its own volume. That's new. Maybe they updated it. Oh well, we're using the fake chat anyway. Your first message isn't even on the chat. I know sometimes it takes a while with the multi-stream to start picking everything up. So Mr. Greensuit got the first one. Everyone's name is also really hard to read. So I'll hit refresh chat. And that should change it to new colors, but also means we lost your chat. It is what it is, but now hopefully you won't be like impossible to read. There we go. On your bar, you're first again. New chat, just like that. Starting off with test. A 4-player game. Like so. That could be. We'll keep the order static so we can tell whose turn it is. Is the queue really not in the description? I definitely put it in the description. I hope it's not just like too long. I don't know why the program has been fighting me recently. It might be because that's not too long. It might be because it's like putting it on Twitch and YouTube. Let's see if it's even on the description. No, it doesn't. Ah. Get it. I don't know how I would put it on the Twitch one, but that's okay. Hopefully it's on the YouTube one now. Put it manually, directly. You're not sure about this map design? The middle seems paramount. The middle, it does seem pretty important. With all the labs there, chilling with their cruisers. And this looks like it's an FFA, no teams. Twitch was frozen. Okay. All right, we'll hop into this. Ooh, I get to choose who gets to be the penguins. I have history with Harmonica Dog, so Harmonica Dog can be the penguins. This means we can't have Blue Moon. So we'll make them into... Black Hole. And then red, yellow is probably fine, but we can also make them green. Gray, now let's do green earth. Now let's do acid rain. That should be pretty good. We're telling everyone apart. Perfect. This is indeed an FFA. The game's name is Test, so I assume that this was testing this map for FFA status. You've got one comm tower contested between each neighboring player. Everyone's labs are in the center. They all have cruisers sitting on them. There's no HQs. There's no other labs. That's pretty dubious. So I mean, if you get control of the center, you'll just kind of win the game. But I guess the idea is no one's gonna let anyone else get control of the center, right? That's the plan. The neighboring players definitely have the easiest time slaying each other in comparison to the corners. So you might have some cases of corners teaming up to destroy neighbors. At least immediately it kind of looks easiest for yellow to attack green, or green to attack black hole to attack the penguins. I'm not 100% sure if that's true. It's just what the mountains seem to be telling me. We'll see how it goes. It's a lot easier. It's definitely a lot easier to defend your own lab than to attack one, because you have multiple spots where artillery can shoot at it for your own, but you have to kind of venture out to attack the opponents. This, I think this would definitely get decided by corner players having a temporary alliance to slay one of their neighbors. We'll see how it goes. It is base light, but it's base light with an airport. So expect a lot of copters. I mean, copter artillery is probably going to be the composition of choice. Just because the artillery are always good in FFAs, where it can be hard to fully invest in wall breaks. And you need them to break the... Well, copters and or artillery can be used to break the cruisers. But the copters are just going to be an additional unit you can always have on your army. We're going to go for an early recon. Did not expect to see that in an FFA. Yeah, that's more what I would suspect. Is artillery. It's a little weird to go adder and then go into artillery. It's not the worst thing, but it could have been Jake or artillery. Ooh, Harmonica Dog just building infantry currently. Double recon out of the Sapphire Commander. Okay, and a recon to follow up this artillery. Okay, very aggressive. Recons aren't the best in FFAs because they have a hard time being on the defensive, and oftentimes you need to switch from offense to defense because the tides can turn on you real quickly. Although, I mean, recons are pretty fast, so they can at least front switch. And they can attack infantry. Oh, you get to interrupt. A little tag on this artillery. I mean, they're definitely not the worst thing ever. Here comes the tanks. I think tank artillery will definitely beat tank recon. At least most of the time. These recon can go and hit this artillery, but these infantry are going down for Dr. Nasty. But the tank's covering the artillery, so it's not going to be a great trade. The artillery definitely won't die from the recon attacks. Recons are like decent against artillery, but they're not amazing. What's with the propaganda bar? It's the best. It gives helpful information. Ooh, okay, Harmonica Dog is now going straight into mass artillery. We have a little bit of breakthrough over here. But it's like into the, like this attack from Sapphire Commander is it's kind of a negative attack, and why you don't tend to mess with these artillery walls is you send 2 infantry in and they kill 1 infantry, but next turn you're gonna lose both of these infantry and you'll just have this horrible trade, and the tank won't really be any better, like any closer to breaking through, because there's still plenty of infantry to come back. JJ Empire does hate the penguins. So usually this kind of situation, you just don't dive into the artillery and then until you have something that can follow up and hit it. Like if the tank was a little bit closer, then this would make more sense. Well, okay, I wasn't expecting that. The artillery decided to fire up here. Usually you would like the artillery firing at the healthiest infantry so that you take less recoil on your guys. Yeah, over here. Ooh, that might be a less than favorable luck roll, but it doesn't really matter with your tank hits or recon. Like, sure, the recon's left with a little more health, but there was also the chance you probably could just one-shot it. And that little more health probably won't matter, right? Yeah, and it's not usually wise to attack into 2 neighbors, for sure. We do have a breakthrough that hit the artillery, which is nice. One of the main winning strategies in FFAs is to be as passive as possible while picking up your money, because there's no real benefit to fighting other than unless you're able to get some real wins of like properties out of it. You just make yourself weaker, or like you and your opponent both become weaker, so the other players are stronger against you. I didn't quite get every game into the queue because I had to start the stream, but I do believe I have your game ready to be played. Okay, huge fight over this comm tower. Black Hole does get it. The artillery is in place to start shelling this cruiser. It does have a nice city to attack from. 2 of these cities actually owned by Black Hole. Harmonica Dog dropping this city. Very painful. A lot of artillery dedicated to this front with Sapphire Commander. Who has now started getting the copters, as has Dr. Nasty. They're both out of range of each other. We have an anti-air ready to answer this one. I would expect the Jugger players to be advantaged in this matchup, just because they're able to get really good luck rolls that can just destroy armies. But, I mean, Adder can get the extra movement. It can matter. Yeah, well, yeah, Diplomatics is the best way to win FFAs. But if you can say, hey, how about you fight you and leave me alone, then that's the best diplomacy. Okay, Harmonica Dog doing the be very passive and build up an army strategy. Currently, Black Hole and Cobalt Ice being the strongest army value-wise, mainly because these two are constantly fighting. With Black Hole being really far ahead when it comes to income. Bop. Bop. This comm tower is going to get captured. The copter got the kill on the copter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it is out of range of this anti-air. So it's going to get away with it. This tank might get away with it. We'll see. Could get hit by a copter here. And comes an artillery as well. Gonna form a little line. Okay, the copter didn't want to charge in. Very reasonable. Really, very few defenses on this east-west front between Harmonica Dog and Black Hole. As Harmonica Dog, you probably want to try and come up with a truce with Sapphire Commander and be like, I want to go fight the person who's currently in the lead. Looks like we're going to try and do some fighting over there anyway. But keep this engagement going. It is going very well for Harmonica Dog, getting close to taking this comm tower, which would be a really big win. Not usually worth attacking artilleries on the city like that, unless they have no backup. Yeah, I do believe you would get their stuff. How the map review? I didn't do too many yesterday, but the day before that I did review 100 maps, so it's going pretty well. Sapphire Commander. This is the copter, almost full charged adder. Dr. Nasty using the normal power here. Getting really low on units, down to 14. Now up to 17 from the buys. But in comparison to like 23 for both Me and Harmonica Dog, it's like night and day. Artillery gets picked on there. He breaks through here. Artillery set up to go for the interrupt on this capture. You get the copter versus copter strike. 9-2, looking very nice. There is a copter to back this up for Dr. Nasty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it won't be able to reach without another power though. But the anti-air here would be able to hit either way, unless some sort of blocking came in. Harmonica Dog backs off. Currently, Me is in a big lead. Attacking up here is probably not the easiest weak point. Yeah, going for like this central city would definitely be the target I would try and focus on, because it's really far away from the rest of Me's stuff. Although, I mean, you gotta defend your comm tower for sure. Sapphire Commander still holding the power at full charge. Okay. Tries to get the interrupt. Fails with the 1 health recon. So Dr. Nasty gets the city in the center. Goes for the side slip. This will let this copter go for the attack, but there is an anti-air here ready to kind of ruin the day. Then Dr. Nasty still attacking down here. So this is in the FFA. This is where you go for a temporary truce. You say, Sapphire Commander, we've been fighting, but I'm kind of being crushed by one of the stronger players. You're getting crushed by one of the stronger players. We need to, like, team up so we don't just kind of die. An honorary member of the MC. Dr. Nasty starts losing properties on their front. Me breaking through, going for a capture on the comm tower. That looks like it's pretty likely to go through. We'll see. I mean, Harmonica Dog can save it. The question is whether or not they will. We'll see. You have to dive in pretty deep. Okay. We're going to go for the overclock. Pop. We're going to try and save it. Lock down to 5. Anti-air is here. It doesn't reach. If you want to send another copter in, or if you want to send a copter in, I guess you can, but it's covered by 2 opposing copters. The anti-air for this side not quite in range. Okay, so that was a pretty weak overclock. It does give extra defenses. Whoa! Sapphire Commander does not interrupt the comm tower with this infantry. Might have thought that the anti-air would get the kill here, but it does not. Especially with extra defense and in a forest. Not with just one comm tower. Even if you use the power, it's not going to be able to do it. That's very good news for Harmonica Dog. No one's actually going for the cruisers at this point. But since the fighting is so focused on the sides, this is something you could try and sneak for. Okay, Umi. Russian through already has a city taken at 15k income. Anti-air does not cover. Both copters do, so we're gonna have some copter fighting. An overclock from Humi in response. Tries to get a luck roll on the tank. Okay, don't send a 3 health in yet. Oh, that's a really weak. That's a really weak normal power. Oh my gosh. Went for 1 roll. It does still matter in these retaliations, but still looking fine. Okay, moving on out. He did give, of course, some extra stats, but wow, was that a weak power. So usually you don't want to go for like that infantry on tank attack like that. You'd want to have maybe a copter hit first and then have your infantry go for the tank attack, so you can't, if your roll goes poorly, you don't get absolutely bopped. Sapphire Commander just barely holding on, still fighting to the death with Dr. Nasty over here. Might end up losing cities though. Do have a medium tank built against a jugger. Can always be risky. The copters decide to fight it out. Anti-air does get to finish off this copter. This copter will go down to this anti-air. There isn't a tank over here though, so this is basically a free attack for me. And these tanks can come over and make it so this anti-air doesn't get a free attack. 17 to 12k advantage if we're just looking at the Humi versus Harmonica Dog fight. At this point, Sapphire Commander and Dr. Nasty basically need to all in the labs from these other 2 players. Is their only hope to having a chance in this game. Well, I think goes in. Still it's a fine attack. Tank attacks. It has to go into artillery range. The artillery is actually already threatening this cruiser, so definitely some danger going with there. We have to base skip. Base skipping from this base, even though it's the more forward base. We have the overclock. Oof. Into a 1-shot. Doesn't go for the luck rolls on the medium tank. Probably wise. Ooh. Kills off the anti-air. Takes out the artillery too. Great attack here. Harmonica Dog, the rival in the game, is crumbling. Overclocks after the artillery shot. Didn't like the ranges over there. Sending units in against Sapphire Commander. You gotta send everything up here to try and stop the person winning. Sapphire Commander finally using power, uses the super, kills a tank, kills an anti-air, kills a copter. Goes after the artillery. He's trying to get as much damage as possible, but this is all helping Who Me, who's the only one that doesn't get attacked on that turn. Dr. Nasty retreats with the medium tank. The city is going to fall. There it goes. Who Me at 17k. Crushing all of Harmonica Dog's army in the north. Tom Tower going down. Cruiser will fall soon too. Harmonica Dog's doing a very valiant job against Sapphire Commander, but again, that's not... Oh my gosh. Anti-air are so thirsty for blood. It goes up and kills Harmonica Dog's copter in the fight against Who Me. No, you guys, you gotta realize your true enemy. You gotta go after the leader in the game. You can't fight against each other right now. Oh no. Dr. Nasty attacking into Sapphire Commander despite the fact that it's Who Me who's destroying his cruiser currently. Down goes the recon. Oh, the cruiser doesn't get finished off. It could have been. But Who Me taking a nice defensive formation almost has more unit value than any two players combined. Harmonica Dog used to be the rival, is now in last. Doing their best, pumping out a mech. The artillery back here healing. It doesn't really cover anything that matters. A side slip, medium tank on medium tank inside artillery range. Just wild swings here. Anti-air retreats. Dr. Nasty destroying Sapphire Commander. Can't find a way to attack into Who Me. Who Me now has more unit value than any two opposing players combined. Soon to be more than all three combined. No, we're just pulling back over here. No real point in fighting unless you're getting captures. I mean, there's this capture, but nothing's in range to stop it already. The base. Dr. Nasty's base is being captured. Oh no. It's not quite there. Harmonica Dog got huge influx in unit value. Back up to 70k. Sapphire Commander doesn't even build. Moves 2 back, ends the turn. Dr. Nasty tries to save the base. Has to move into artillery range. It's all horrible. Still goes for the kills on Sapphire Commander, who's down to 6 units. Attacks and kills the cruiser. Should probably have done that in the opposite order to keep the copter health. Unfortunately, capturing with a 9 health infantry. Oh, their own cruiser. Under threat. It finally happened. Almost. Not quite. I think this is still... No, it's not. It's not. Who Me now has more unit value than all other players combined. And this is why you can't just fight against each other to the bitter end. We do clear the base, so Dr. Nasty can build something here. Oof. If Harmonica Dog wants, can stop Sapphire Commander's lab from being captured. We have the overclock. All the units starts getting cleaned up. Kill off copter over there with the infantry. Artillery decides not to fire on the cruiser, is just going to threaten the opposing artillery. That's a little bit weird because there's nothing... I guess this tank is also threatening because that can be blocked off. So it's a little weird to move. Oh, I guess these copters are also threatening from the top. Okay, well, if Dr. Nasty is able to get this lab capture, they're still going to die. But they will briefly have the highest income. Harmonica Dog has no interest in saving Sapphire Commander. Could have gone for an interrupt. Decides not to. It's just going to try and save their own lab. Very fair. Sapphire Commander, before dying in this game, is going to take out one medium tank. Honorably stays in the game, though. So at least Dr. Nasty should get control of all of these. I guess we're about to find out. Unable to clear this base. Indeed does get control as we have a mech built over here. The mech spam. Dr. Nasty now at 22k. This could all be part of Humi's plan, though. If Humi now takes this lab, we'll get all of this. It can all be yours. Actually, it has to take both of these labs. Never mind. Kills the cruiser. Kills the artillery. Kills the tank. Starts moving in on both labs. Harmonica Dog moving in the top. We finally have an alliance amongst the weaker players against the stronger. Is it too late? Dr. Nasty has more income than unit value. Goes for a super. Kills off a copter. Kills off tanks. Can't save the base. Builds a medium tank. Some infantry. Trying to make sure an infantry is in range to clear the airport. I assume. It's gonna be tough though. It's a 6 health copter. Forward base by an opponent is always a dangerous prospect. If Harmonica Dog is able to distract Humi's army enough, Dr. Nasty does still have more income and should be able to win in this base versus base fight. It's going to be a tough task for Harmonica Dog, though. Almost at a third of the unit value of Humi. Goes for the overclock. Went for the high risk luck attacks. It's not... Oh, gets one good one. It's another pretty good one. But it's not enough. We get one attack in there. Mechs moving in, or mechs and medium tanks moving in. No way to clear this without building exactly a missile, or I guess sending a copter from over here, or lots of infantry attacks. You could try and build a carrier, but I believe the minimum range would be a problem. And artillery would be pretty good here, as the artillery can move right here and shell the base. Humi going for the last lab cap. Not being greedy, not attacking into Harmonica Dog. Harmonica Dog saving Dr. Nasty. Still fighting for a chance. Oh, we get the artillery in range of Dr. Nasty's base down here. Huge swing in with the vehicles. Humi diving on into the middle. It's up to Harmonica Dog to try and save the day here. It's not much, but artillery are strong. Medium tank also going into the middle, trying to save the lab. Might need to invest some units in saving this base, though. Oh, the copter did get off of this airport. Oh, but Dr. Nasty doesn't have enough money. Built an anti-air over here. This was definitely the time to build a copter. Oh no. Now it's Harmonica Dog's lab that's in danger. The only unit that can interrupt this is this copter. We're going to have to go for a copter high roll here. Base falls on the bottom left. Overclock. Do we get the one shot? We don't get the one shot. That's going to be GG for Harmonica Dog, who resigns, denying me the full capture of all of these properties. His base is going to fall. Both Dr. Nasty and Humi diving in to pick up all these properties that just went neutral. Although Dr. Nasty does still only have one lab in the center, so it's going to be a lot that's required to keep that alive. Trying to save this base. Does clear the copter away. This one will not be able to reach. There is a possible join here. They are at equal income. Although Humi has a much larger army. And a lot of Dr. Nasty's unit value is stuck over here in the bottom right corner. Which is not where all the fighting's happening currently. Neo tank built over here. Down goes this base. It's just a matter of time before an infantry wanders over to this lab and is unable to be stopped. No captures successful for Dr. Nasty other than this comm tower. Oh, okay, a tank does come down here and clear this base. We do have some copter wars going on. Umi going for some luck rolls. Does an okay job against the medium tank. Would not recommend going for those higher risk rolls though. Gets a nice one against this copter though. 5 damage. Oh, we've got some infantry moving towards the lab. This game is going to be over very soon. Although the Neo tank's in the center now. The medium tank does go in here too. Completely giving up fighting over this base. There's no more units over here. The 4 health, or I guess a copter will just sit on the airport most likely. Maybe not. Just leave it open. Another overclock. Trying to go for some high rolls. Or double the unit value for Humi. Wow, Dr. Nasty is capturing one of the labs back. It does get interrupted. We'd have to capture both of these. One was still the cruiser on. These bases have finally been completely conquered. 30k income to 17. Huge breakthrough over here in the top, but then Dr. Nasty just resigns. GG. Umi winning the game in the FFA. Now that was a pretty nice FFA. All of the teaming that I saw, there wasn't much of it. There probably should have been a little bit more in this case. It was all making a lot of sense. You gotta fight against the stronger player. And this is something that happens a lot in FFA, is 2 neighboring players will just kind of fight to the death, and then, you know, the stronger opponents will come through and just pick everything up. It's not easy, but GG, well played. Oh, Mr. Greensuit's the first one. Mr. Greensuit. Rachel versus Andy. Last Vigil live league. border static. I guess we can. I'll make Mr. Greensuit into the penguins. No longer green. Okay. Classic matchup. Andy versus Rachel. Or I can do the high. You want to... Did you swap out your replays and I didn't swap it? Is that what happened? Indeed, indeed. All right. You were denied your Andy versus Rachel. Oh, it's the sneaky dragon versus Mr. Greensuit. When your missiles would go. I'm so sorry, Mananek. It is a small map. I imagine that's pretty good for Rachel. I'll make Yellow Comet, Cobalt Ice. Okay. Wow, Sensei versus Sturm. What a fun matchup. I've enjoyed it in the past doing Sturm versus Sensei, but my focus has always been just so much city denial. Just max recons, deny all the cities to keep the Sensei unit count low. And poor Fred outnumbered 3-1, it's true. Is it making you physically ill? I don't know how good Sturm is on this map, though, just because these bases are so close to all the properties. It's hard to find all the, like, the pick-offs with the recons. Sneaky Dragon going with artillery recon as the response. Absolutely wild. Blocks with the artillery. I would expect tanks. Yeah, that's what we're seeing now. It was recon response. Yeah, we're getting one little denial over here, and this is indeed what you have to do, is you have to be like, I just don't even care if you hit my recons. I'm just going to try and keep your city counts low, because otherwise Sensei is going to overwhelm you with the sheer number. Of infantry. Bloop, run away. Tank cover against the tank. Shoom. Get the interrupt over here. Seems good so far. We've had a few successful interrupts. It looks like this one's going to go through. The artillery was just too strong of a choice. The infantry does get interrupted, although it can just kind of be joint capped pretty safely. Tank first strike ending in a 7-7. There's a full health tank to replace. That's pretty good. I would expect to see some artillery coming out from Mr. Greensuit pretty soon. Smack, nice interrupt on the upcoming capture. We're going to go for a neo tank. Okay. Join cap makes sense. See if this recon chills here or not. I guess it's already overloading this tank because it has these two options. If you stand here, then the infantry can't actually start capturing. You have a nice interrupt over here. Just do as much as you can. There's no, at least there's no airports here, so you don't have to deal with the sensei, copters. You'd run out of time for sure. Well, I would do artillery because there's quite a few captures that become a lot easier to deny with the artillery. But I can understand that on a time management situation, the artillery are so positional that it's going to take longer. Okay, interrupt this capture. Deny as many as possible. We haven't had a sensei power. Kill that tank. Neo tank stare down. Infantry moving out. Try and deny that capture. Hit that tank. Some captures are going to be undeniable, but like all the ones in the center, these ones on the fringes, those are all very deniable. Even just slowing down the early ones help to keep the property count low. It looks like the sneaky dragon is going to try and go. Oh no, never mind. I was going to say it's going to try and go for the super first, but if we have our first normal power, here comes the sea of infantry. Artillery right behind the neo tank, looking good. This is going to start getting dangerous. Really don't want those infantry to get any property flips, and this is where those indirects for sensei are really nice. It's so many free units just kind of stand in the way. Even with pretty successful city denial. Mr. Greensuit can drop a meteor. It looks like it would hit here. Because this neo tank is currently denying the meteor hitting over here. It might hit here instead, actually. 2 tanks. Injured recon. Maybe. You'd like it to hit here. So I guess this tank could come over here and take this shot. And that would make the meteor land here. Looks like that's what we're going to do. Maybe not. Ooh, I wouldn't send the infantry in there unless you've got good follow-up, because you're going to need all the infantry you've got. If the meteor landed here, then I would have dove in. You get a nice breakthrough to hit this artillery in the back. You take first strike. Okay, we're just not going to drop the meatball. You have a 10k income lead for Mr. Greensuit, as you would expect from the Sturm harassment. But it definitely comes down to a situation of like, how long can that possibly last? I am surprised that the sneaky dragon went for these infantry strikes, as I'm pretty sure this is a guaranteed capture. You just start the capture and like put the tank here. And anytime you can get a forward capture on your opponent as sensei, it just snowballs so much as the infantry starts spawning there. Here comes the free units. There's only one base to produce over here. The unit count has dwindled. A lot of these units in the middle can come back to save the day, though. We're going to get some medium tanks, some more recons, which is pretty surprising. The center is going to be completely Mr. Greensuits. And that does mean this lab falls. And the only other lab you have to take out is this corner. So you could try and just all in it. I'm going to go for the meteor strike. It's going to land, oh, down here. Interesting. Nice breakthrough. Might land up here. You'd have to move plan most likely at this stage to figure out where it's going to land exactly and manipulate it. Okay. Central captures. Just trying to take positional places with the infantry. Mr. Greensuit down to 2 minutes. Okay, and artillery backing this up. Still not going for the captures up here. Just trying to go for the unicount wipeouts. Does get that city. Gets a nice interrupt down there. Medium tanks moving out. This is where it's going to get really nasty. Since they can start capturing all these cities, Mr. Greensuit's going to be in trouble. Does manage to hold these down. The anti-air just to kill off infantry in one hit. More neo-tanks. Neo-tanks are probably a little excessive. But it's not like the worst thing. They are quick. Here comes that annoying artillery backed up by a huge swarm of infantry. The Sensei Classic. This city is going to get denied while this one starts to be captured. There isn't a recon currently in range. But the pressure right now isn't intense on this capture. It's just a 7 health, so it does have 3 turns. I mean, Mega would be the way, yeah. He drops an apple, that's right. Well, the nice thing about going for a mega is you don't care too much about the Sensei artillery that's behind everything. And your unit, as long as your units don't die, you can come out on top in the battle of attrition. It also would put a lot of pressure on this base, assuming this lab could get taken. Do have to stop the capture there. Unable to make it to the artillery. The Sensei, or the Sturm negative attack power combined with the Sensei defensive boost here makes it so the anti-air was unable to kill the 9 health infantry on the shoals. You find the unit count for the map, but it's on a game-by-game basis, and you can see it in the info tab. When you open up the in-game menu, it's like in the center. Sturm Megas are very good. Okay. So far, Mr. Greensuit's done a pretty good job of keeping the city count fairly low for the sneaky dragon. And eventually, the power is going to start costing quite a bit. Uh-oh. The city is now close to flipping. We do have a 9 health tank ready. Interrupt. Looks like we're going to start. Looks like we've swapped from neo tanks to medium tanks. Overall, I would probably favor the medium tank in comparison to the neo tank. I don't know why the sneaky dragon just sacked 3 infantry there. Unless, is 50 the unit cap? If 50 is the unit cap, then yeah, that makes more sense. The medium tanks are just a lot cheaper than the neo tanks while achieving most of the same things for Sturm. But I mean, the neos do more damage, but 50 is the unit cap as we do delete a unit to build a tank, delete a unit to build an artillery. Okay. So Mr. Greensuit's still above 58 seconds banked up. Mr. Greensuit is above in unit value despite being so far below in unit count, which is kind of to be expected. The Sneaky Dragon also low on time. And I think it's definitely more dangerous to be low on time as the Sensei player, as you take to not move all your stuff. Meteor Strike up there does hit 2 heavy tanks. Very nice. Capture is currently saved. It's a little dangerous to leave it like that, but that's okay. At the top right corner, things are looking real nasty, but this capture is not going through just yet. Mr. Greensuit times out. Oh no. Mr. Greensuit times out without buying from 3 of the bases. 24k still in the bank. Now this could be a saving grace, because sometimes this happens and then you're like, oh, I should just spend all that money at once and a bunch of mega tanks will come out. But it looks like it'd be very dangerous, as we might start losing some properties at the top right because of it. Central City, very close to falling. It can still be interrupted, but the Sneaky Dragon can just kind of throw infantry wherever they want, or wherever he wants, and not have to think about that, because they're so easy to replace, and I just can put more time pressure on Mr. Greensuit, who does have to think about how to try and counter them. In this case, the city is going to go through, and that is a huge breakthrough for the Sneaky Dragon, because now every time he uses the power, the infantry or mechs will spawn here, right next to one of Mr. Greensuit's properties. And then the infection will just start to spread. This was join capped. Wow, oh, the Neo Tank and they can't both hit it. Oh no. The infection will continue to spread over here. We do get a Mega Tank and a Neo Tank and the Anti-Air up here. Do save this city for now. This one is going to fall. Got to spend the cash. 13 seconds left in the bank. Sneaky Dragon's going to get some captures this turn. 1 from Mr. Greensuit. That income gap very quickly falling. Huge unit value difference still. Down goes the tank back here. We have another copter command. Blip, 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 blip. Up to 50 units. Now I imagine the strategy for dealing with the mega tank from Mr. Greensuit is to just kind of ignore it and take all the cities. You can try and counter with your own mega tank, like I guess what we're seeing here. Or I guess this mega tank came first. But Sturm does have a much better trade if we're talking about mega tank wars. Okay. And this is kind of the Sensei dream also, is to eliminate all of the opposing infantry. Right now, Mr. Greensuit has 1 infantry. Is that right? Yes, it's right here. It has 4 health. It's going to be pretty much impossible for Mr. Greensuit to ever get another capture in this entire game. As all of the money is going to have to be spent on vehicles to try and fight the infantry. This property is going to fall. Sneaky Dragon's going to start getting an income lead now. More infantry move on in. Just the sheer numbers, the unit count. Is it Fred? It must be Fred. Oh, we got the rockets coming out. Rockets are fine-ish. I mean, they're still pretty bad against mega tanks. If a mega tank charges the rocket can't do much. But if there's a huge wave of infantry in the way for multiple turns, then it'll work. Mega tank spam. Fortunately for Mr. Greensuit, Since mega tanks still do a pretty good amount of damage to infantry, but they don't have to use their ammo on the infantry. They make for very good cleaner uppers, even if like the the value difference is astronomical using mega tanks to kill infantry. We have the anti-airs over here, so Mr. Greensuit stabilizing in the top right, pretty much stabilizing in the middle, is just going to sit on this city, while like the infantry count for Mr. Greensuit's probably never going to rematerialize. We do have to consider the fact that there is a 50 unit count limit. So if Mr. Greensuit can just get up near that with vehicles, then that's when Sensei will just kind of start to collapse. It only takes 28 turns of killing infantry to make up the value. It's true. Well, mega tanks do more damage to infantry than anti-airs. The Sturm anti-air is going to run into troubles in that it won't be actually able to get those one shots that other people can. Get the 6-8 trade here with Sensei's mega tank. It's a sad day for Sensei there. If this was mega tanks hit each other at the same rate that copters hit each other, but Sensei does not get the copter boost on the mega tank. We have the meteor strike. It's up here. Oh yeah, it definitely hits up there. Bam! With a super medium strike, meteor strike. That was a big apple. All the 8 health infantry running. I would definitely agree with running away from opposing Sensei infantry, but also potentially going for a capture down here. These captures are uncontested currently, which is mighty dicey. Got our first mega tank up here. Looks like it's just in a response to an opposing mega tank. We're gonna start sending a tank over here. The rockets for Sneaky Dragon are moving out. Mr. Greensuit has reached 30 units, 29 of which are vehicles. Versus the Sneaky Dragon, who's currently at 37 units, 25 of which are foot soldiers. So, resupplied back up to 50, just like that. Mega tank does make it in here. The captures going through join caps. A lot of pressure. This has to be super interrupted. There's only... No, okay, there's a recon and the 6 health tank that can get in here. You can break through to the rockets, a very important breakthrough. The Sensei army failing. Oh, we build a penguin. You get the interrupt over there. We're gonna have to build something big to stop this capture. This one gets started. Mega tank moves out. Build another mega tank. Saves the city for now. Really annoying. This is a case of this Sensei city is in range of every turn something spawns here. It can just immediately start capturing. Uh-oh. Mr. Greensuit ran out of time. Oh no, Mr. Greensuit ran out of time before being able to build down here. Very dangerous. Sneaky Dragon moving on out. Keeps these captures just constantly coming. Is the sneak is Mr. Greensuit able to save this capture? I think so. 5 health tank. I think if Mr. Greensuit can get the power, it'll probably give enough firepower to save this capture. Because you can have 5 health tank. Oh, we didn't save this capture though. Oh no. Okay, it was enough. Didn't even need the power. Sneaky Dragon down to 8 seconds. Is starting to have some problems with getting the normal power every turn. Mr. Greensuit sucks up one of the ammo of that mega tank. It's down to 1 shot. Doesn't run out, or does run out of time, but gets all the builds this time. Sneaky Dragon does have enough charge for another power. Breaks through over here. Didn't actually hit the unit cap that time. Mr. Greensuit is going to get this property back. We do have to consider that this game will end at day 30 as well. And right now, the Sneaky Dragon would win based on captures, as both players are completely out of time. These have to. This is successfully interrupted so far. Mega Tank. Oh no! I think if Mr. Greensuit uses the super this turn, which I don't, he might not be doing, but I think that would give you enough firepower to get the one shot there. Oh no! It's a little mess up in the order there. Uses the normal power. Complete breakthrough over here. Has this infantry start going for this capture? The neutral capture? Really? What about this one? Mega Tank out of ammo. This one's out of ammo too. This one's got 2 shots. Oof. Mega Tank's gonna have to use its ammo either on a 2 health Mega Tank or a 4 health Neo Tank. Did float 33k building the infantry. Oh, okay. Sneaky Dragon back up to the 50 unit cap. Oh no, starting to go for captures in the center. Oh, interesting attack there. Mr. Greensuit's infantry is actually going to heal up to 10 here. Tide keeps forming over here. There's no real backup to these infantry, though. It's just going to be occupying time to kill them all. Ooh. Odd choice. Looks like we tried to go for some fancy play over here, because you really don't want this Mega Tank to get hit because it doesn't have any ammo. But there's going to be a 4 health artillery that can fire here, so a little bit of a misplay with the walling, but maybe the Sneaky Dragon won't see it. Mr. Greensuit does run out of time, but builds everything. That's usually the priority when you're having the time troubles, is just make sure you get all your builds in. The base is getting ominously close to just being completely surrounded. Oh my gosh. Usually Mega Tank first strikes are like a huge deal, especially if the other Mega Tank doesn't have any ammo. It's like it does so little damage. Capture was gone for. Mr. Greensuit needs to flip 1 property and also stop any of these properties from being flipped to win the game, or capture 2 neutrals, I guess. Like this one and this one would be possible. Or capture the lab in a neutral. Oh, the Sneaky Dragon was unable to get to the normal power, but also has a 44 unit count, so the server had a huge lag during the entire time. Star going for the capture over here. Very threatening. Now, the Sturm Infantry do a good job at capturing just because of that extra defense. Mega Tank goes down. Mega Tank first strike. Very important to get this medium tank either here or here. Here makes more sense because out of artillery range and rocket range. Because you really don't want this. If the Sneaky Dragon infantry can do a complete wraparound, then the base is pretty much doomed. The corner labs. So since there's no HQ on this map, if you lose all of your labs, you lose the game. So this is like your main HQ, and then you have one in the center too. Meteor strike. Thunk. It is kind of nasty for Sensei that every time he tries to make a meteor, like a mega tank ball, kind of like what Mr. Greensuit does, it just gets a meteor landed on it. Mr. Greensuit runs out of time. As the ABC, we're on day 22. Mega doing its job. Copter command. Bloop. Huge tide of units coming in here. It does look like Mr. Greensuit's going to be able to stabilize on this front so far. This infantry is eyeing this city very seriously. This city is also under threat. Sneaky Dragon eyeing these cities though, probably wise. That's where a huge number of units have been invested. This 1 health tank does survive. It doesn't quite guarantee. Actually, I think it does guarantee that this will go through next or in 2 turns, because I think the recons can block. Ooh, they don't. They decide not to double block. Well, you got to block here too, otherwise, I don't think it works. All right, well, we'll find out. Do break through here. Mega tanks chewing through, drilling a hole, try and get to the rockets. Rocket built over here. Continue the capture here. Blocking the way for the infantry interrupt. This is going to fall. Mega tank does its job, denying that capture. Gets away healing, starts threatening over here. This Mega tank. Surprised this Mega tank didn't come down here and kill a Mega tank, but that's alright. These guys are pretty low on ammo anyway, and low on health. Oh, Greensuit goes for capture. It's the neutral capture, so it's not too strong. It's just a tie game if this goes through. Ooh, unable to build from this base. There's so much pressure on it. And indeed, you did have to go for a double wall to get this, because this other Neo tank can come in for the smack. So this is not going to get captured. Oh no. Copter command. Sneaky Dragon. Keeping up the pressure. This isn't a scary capture. Ooh. Sneaky Dragon feeling the unit cap limit here. So only 9 infantry are going to spawn from this. And we've talked about it before, but the map spawns in top left. Like, it reads it like you would read a page to choose the cities it spawns. So that means it's not spawning down here, which is where some of the big stuff's happening. It's just going to be spawning everything in the top. Pop, pop, pop. This was the last city. So like this one doesn't spawn. These ones don't spawn. So a lot of the support you might expect for like this capture isn't going to be there. Oh no, Mr. Greensuit's base does get blocked. Sneaky Dragon runs out of time. Very smart for the Mega Tank to take this position. It's not as defensible as the forest, but it stops the infantry tide from constantly getting these captures. The Mega Tank. This is a scary capture, but it's not quite going through. So currently it's a draw game with the lab, because labs do count for... Oh, now Mr. Greensuit is technically ahead. This capture is probably going to fall. The rocket kind of, I think, had to stick over here, but okay. You save that capture for now. Rockets get attacked. Anti-air over there. Mega tank attack in, start capturing here, overloading the artillery. We do timeout, but we got all the buys in. That's the most important thing. I guess the most important thing is stopping captures and getting the buys in. I mean, not to build on the rocket, but to like move it to the side so it still has sights on the city. Ooh, the sneaky dragon did not block for this city. Ooh, also doesn't go for the mega tank strike over here. It's just going to go for the captures at this point. We are at day 24. Copter command can join cap this, or not join cap, but can join block. So you don't have a 1 health infantry blocking the way. Although I think the artillery just dies anyway. Starts sacking infantry in order to lower the unit cap to build vehicles. Time's out, but does do everything that needs to be done. We go for the meteor strike. Thunk. It's kind of a shame that it lands down here. I mean, you can't move planet, obviously. But it does give enough firepower to interrupt that capture. The lab starts being captured. All the fighting over here has finally started to go Mr. Greensuit's way. Infantry going for these city captures. Things are looking very grim for Sensei now. Oh, Mr. Greensuit lets this through. Weird, okay. Decides to kill the 3 health rocket. Could have sent this guy up to hit here and Mega Tank smacks the city. Just lets the city go, okay. It's now tied city-wise. The lab would flip things. We're at day 25. Infantry surround, threatening again in the top left corner. Sneaky dragon, very much focusing on this fight. We do have this join cap. The mega tank is going to have to do 9 damage here. Mr. Greensuit used the super. Using the normal power might be more wise, just because the intention's more for the base rather than, or for the stats rather than the damage, I would imagine. But I'm surprised the Neo tank hits this infantry rather than this one, because if you hit this one, then this makes sure this anti-air can hit here if the mega tank fails to get the kill, but it's guaranteed, I guess. Oh no. Mega tank should definitely just stood there and be a blocker. These cities are falling. We do get the lab cap. Mr. Greensuit makes sure to maintain freedom to roam on this base. Build a recon though. This rocket's out of ammo. 2 more cities flip. Mr. Greensuit falling apart in the northwest. Do have a sensei power. The city's going to flip. We're on day 26. Okay, it's definitely just interrupt caps, kill every infantry on sight. This flips. Okay, currently Mr. Greensuit's ahead because owning the lab in the center. It's gonna be so tough with the units constantly spawning from these two cities to get much done for Mr. Greensuit. So it's all just gonna be like, make sure the base doesn't die, try and maintain control over these properties in the comm tower. Mr. Greensuit does get the kill on this base in the corner. Dragon with another copter command is going to get back up to those 50 units. Even gets to spawn infantry over here. Starts capturing this lab. The recon buy is very smart for Mr. Greensuit from this base, as those are units that can very quickly make a difference. And when you're down to so few days, that's what you need. Still maintaining that little bit of wiggle room for this base so it isn't quite dead. We do have the meteor strike. I assume it's landing up here. Thunk. More megas. Clean up all the captures going on over here. Currently, it looks like Mr. Greensuit has got this in the bag. Even has time to spare on the turns. Sneaky Dragon can't break through here. There's not enough time to get the captures going. And Mr. Greensuit is going to come out with the win here. The Mega Tank spam making the difference. This is why this is part of what makes them so good. It's just so little damage. That's going to be that. We're on day 29. No more captures possible, I don't think. If they attempt at the lab, but Mr. Greensuit has quite the vehicle army still in the center. And gets this city. Could have gone for the... Can't really... I guess I was going to say you could go for the comm tower, but you can't really leave the empty cities for Sensei to interrupt from. And there we go. Fire a missile. Match ended in a draw, it says. Is not a draw. That is Mr. Greensuit's victory. Up by day limit. Have a good night, Mananek. This is why you no longer play high funds. You only killed 256. Oh, Sneaky Dragon only combined a few. Lost 260. 192 infantry. Well, joined 15 together. I guess... Huh, I don't know why that's not lining up. 16. Okay, oh, it was surprisingly even on the Mega Tank buys. 16 to 14. It's just that the Sturm Mega Tanks are a lot better. It's very tough for Sensei to deal with all the Mega Tanks. More than 3 times the unit cap. More than 5 times. The deletes. Oh, the deletes. That's right. Oh, the infantry unit cap. I got you. Yeah. I mean, this is a tough map. Both Sensei and Sturm are kind of nerfed on this map because the recons have to fight so close to the opposing bases. And there's no airports for Sensei. On bigger maps, I think Sturm has a much more fun time, as you aren't quite so surrounded by the sheer number of infantry. And you're the one with the really flexible recons. Oh wow. We've got Grid Shenanigans as the next game. 12 Army Grid. Okay. This is probably going to be the final game of the night. Sturm's tier 2 there? I guess that makes sense, really. Imagine playing Eagle. That is kind of close. I agree. I doubt it's on purpose. The wrong Sasha detected. It isn't that long. Okay. We'll see how it goes. This looks very very stally for an FFA, as everyone's connected by these little bridges. So you would expect the artillery to be in full swing. And that can definitely lock down a game. But there's such low income. I don't know. Looks like we're going to go into some mech spam over here. Also, this is often going to happen in FFAs, is people drop out of the game. And when that happens, things go real bad real fast as people get free extra properties. Okay. Fighting in the top left going well. Yeah. These two are going to be they're going to start winning the game really quickly. Honestly, Cobalt Ice and Orange Star here had to, so that Cobalt Ice could try and deny Orange or Amber Blaze. All these properties. Amber Blaze doing a really good job of denying Blue Moon. And Blue Moon, so it looks like down here, Red Fire and Green Earth did what Cobalt Ice and Orange Star probably should have done. Now Blue Moon's actually going to end up dying to Green Earth charging on in here. There might be a sort of a truce going on here too. In the center, we have a fighter built on such a low budget map. for Dark Raider. That's literally 2 full turns of income in that unit right there. Oh, Cobalt Ice. Getting a little bit of headway up here. Blue Moon gets some captures, but I mean, Sly Fox should be able to just kind of scoop all that up. Brown Desert out of the game. Red Fire crushing it. We actually have a stealth built by Gray Sky in range of the fighter. What is this psychic sense from Dark Raider? Now, Gray Sky and Black Hole here, they don't have any beef. So honestly, the fighter should not hit the stealth. Is there a Kindle player? No. Shot. Okay. The fighter doesn't hit the stealth. Where'd the fighter go? Oh, it went into the middle. Okay. Going after the copter, I guess? Yeah, the stealth is left to do its own thing. That was a wise choice. You don't really want, because like, if you look at this, Black Hole's fighting White Nova. White Nova's also fighting Gray Sky. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Definitely the way to go about it. Blue Moon, super dead. Looks like Blue Moon. Ooh, interesting situation here. The Blue Moon decided not to build any infantry here. Just used the power and turn. And deleted the Black Boat for some reason. It does mean that the Green Earth can go for this HQ. So I guess Blue Moon was kind of offering this after hitting the artillery, but Amber Blaze has a move here. So while Blue Moon is like, fine, you can take my HQ and get all my stuff, Amber Blaze can kill this mech, and that will rout Blue Moon and deny all the properties to Green Earth. Can definitely happen in your when you get too focused. See, this is, if these two had done a nice truce, then they would not be on the chopping block quite so soon, as they're just stuck constantly fighting each other as Amber Blaze goes on and on to get captures. Ooh, okay, so this must be the end of the truce that we see here, because Amber Blaze, or I don't know if these two even had a truce actually. Amber Blaze does kill the mech, which is like basically a declaration of war on Green Earth. Green Earth starts gearing up to attack here, still in a nice truce with Red Fire. There we go. 2. Very tentative agreement. You have a Sensei with a super. This is the lowest unit count Sensei you've ever seen. Doesn't even use the super. Not sure what those are being, what the super's being saved for. Dark Raider moving on in to White Nova's area, does have the fighter chill on the airport. It's a pretty scary attack. White Nova getting overrun. Had to build a fighter to deal with the stealth. It was a grit fighter. I can actually finish the stealth next turn, as this artillery did not die. The stealth does go down. Rest in peace. Cobalt Ice, I don't know what's going on over here. Not using any powers. Oh, I guess it's enough. Orange Star does just resign. This gives both Cobalt Ice and Black Hole a chance to expand. And really, you kind of have to, because the big boy over here is very quick to just kind of sweep up this way. They do start going out. Dark Raider did actually get all the captures over here, and Black Hole is Sami, so there can be some really quick kills even surprise kills that could stop people from resigning before the HQ can be taken. You had a truce with the penguins. Yellow here. Oh, Gray Sky. Whoa, whoa. Gray Sky leaves the game? Gray Sky's stealth dies. Gray Sky leaves the game. Things are starting to definitely wrap up. Green Earth was looking really nice, being able to get this extra, like the kill on Blue Moon. But you know, Amber Blaze is going to be a lot bigger. Black Hole is going to be a lot bigger. Cobalt Ice is only going to be a tiny bit bigger. White Nova. Very tragic here for Dark Raider. Well, that didn't have the victory march. It doesn't have the surprise possible kill on the HQ anyway. Cobalt Ice might be the next potential target for that. We actually have a missile, which can be very rude as it can lock down this airport from afar. Multiple fighters flying around on the stage. Lots of transfer copters to get past these choke points. Black Hole gearing up to fight Cobalt Ice. Still a nice truce going on over here. Amber Blaze moving out over here. We got fighters and bombers galore. Yeah, Red Fire, yeah. Amber Blaze moving down here. Pushing Red Fire out. Someone died here. Oh, that was Green Earth. Oh, very dangerous. Oh my gosh, we have nothing at all built back here. Just using the forward bases. There should probably be something standing around, unless the unit cap is 50, which it might be because no one has more than 50 units. That means that the transport copters, they can start being real iffy. There must be some sort of team going on between Sly Fox and Black Hole. Take out red. Ah. Really? To take out red? I guess red is now the strongest. It's like there's no real excuse for the missile to not be locking this airport. Well, with a unit cap being 50 on a map this size, there's going to be some serious issues. Big fighting going on over here. Bomber gets built. I'm surprised Cobalt Ice hasn't built a missile to lock this down. Oh my gosh. Huge player in the game. Sly Fox leaves the entire top right corner completely open. Huge chance for Cobalt Ice, but really it looks like Red Fire is going to have the better chance. Has some units to spare. Has the transport copter already. Oh my gosh, Cobalt Ice leaves the game. Well, that's awkward. So now it's going to be a Sami versus Von Bolt matchup. Sami has the one comm tower on the map. What? Is that the end of the game? Von Bolt resigns? Really? Congratulations, Dark Raider. Yeah, the game was going to go on forever. I am surprised Von Bolt resigns here. This is a nice matchup. Having fought Von Bolt as Sami, it is absolute misery. But I mean, the problem of this map is that 50 unit cap max. You can't do it on these big maps. You really can't. Because you get into these situations where you just can't produce enough units to actually cover the map and defend it. But GG, actually has enough time to go for another game. Mojomonkey versus Christian 1. Amnesia High Fun. A practice game. Yeah, the 50 unit cap is... I've played on gigantic, like, ocean maps with the 50 unit cap. It's, it's ridiculous. Alrighty, so we need to keep order static so we always know who's player 1. We'll make Christian into... Bites? Mojomonkey. Comet? Okay, so we're playing high funds. That does make Drake really good. Von Bolt is still pretty solid. Nowhere near as good in the other modes, just because Von Bolt's power. It's good, but it's not like global damage good. And the day-to-day doesn't matter quite so much because there's a lot of winning by tech-ups. Like, in Standard, it's a huge deal that Von Bolt's infantry kick your infantry's butt. That doesn't really matter in high funds. In Fog, it's a huge deal that Von Bolt's tanks kick your tanks' butts. That's not a huge deal in high funds either. So, he does drop down in the tiers. For high funds, a little bit of not quite mixed base. It's really just two fronts, but the double base on this map slow to get going for both players. Quick airport. The Drake having a worse air units can matter in high funds, but it's not like your transport copters are any worse, so that should be okay. And Von Bolt can still do some bullying with the extra stats, especially if you're talking about like air unit fights. It's just not nearly as oppressing as it can be in the other modes. You can also see it takes a lot longer for that fighting to initially start here, as people are given some time to develop in their high funds ways. We have a Drake copter coming in. It's completely covered against by this anti-air, it looks like. Double anti-air even. You go for this comm tower. Sometimes things can get pretty wacky if Von Bolt can deny comm towers from the opponent. In all modes, but in high funds that can definitely be a strategy. Like, I'm going to bully you here. You do have the rare infantry on infantry interaction in high funds. Von Bolt being Von Bolt. Classic, attacking the city from a mountain. You get a 5-9 trade. Anti-air can't quite get the kill, and it does look like Christian's going to be able to deny this city. This copter is somewhat bullying up here. We're going to have the Drake copter as the response, and an anti-air down here to protect this copter. So far, things are going slightly in Christian's favor, it looks like. Ooh, decides... Could have sent the anti-air in here to hit this infantry. It would get hit by the opposing tank. There would be a tank to cover, and the tank and the anti-air would not be able to get the kill. So this anti-air would then be able to back off. And hitting infantry in high funds can be extra valuable. It would just be an option. That's especially safe for Von Bolt. Yeah, the pipe scene does seem a little weird. I guess it's just for the airport if it's trying to go directly. It is also slightly faster for this. No, it's not. I guess they can just go through this forest. It's slightly faster to get to this tile. So goes an infantry. Okay, over here, probably want to interrupt this. There's no anti-air support for this copter, so you can just get a nice Vomble copter first strike if Christian wants to. Okay, there was an opportunity to like interrupt this capture and then completely replace the capture and have the infantry go for this one in the following turn. That's probably what I would have done, just to get some nice use out of the extra infantry that have been sent up there. 5 team also breaks. Infantry blocking on the city. Do we go for the copter first strike? I guess the copter's deciding if it wants to go for this attack or if it wants to go over here. The copter could get trapped in, but it takes the full health infantry in order to do that, and multiple vehicles, so I think it would be fine. Decides not to go. It does also start building up charge, which you might not want to have happen. We'll keep moving on out. Tank infantry hit from here, but then there isn't one in range. Just go for the capture. Kill on that tank, breaks that capture, kills it that way. That also works. Infantry moving in. A lot of little stare-offs go on here. Helicopter, it's gonna be very good. Making sure you have enough infantry on your fronts is important. I would invest in an APC as well as a transport copter. Otherwise, as soon as you get hit by the first Drake power, your transport copter is gonna crash. And that's something you can definitely foresee. And APCs can help with the infantry movement as well. Okay, mojomonkey goes with the bomber to hold the front. Okay, well, I do think that's going to concede this city. Christian. Very nice. Or not quite. You can go like bomber, tank, kill here. Bomber might... No, I don't think the bomber can kill the 9 health bolt infantry. Have to be 2 vehicles, and then the third one goes in for this capture. So we have the anti-air ready to counter there. And mojomonkey just resigns. Oof. So what happened here is mojomonkey didn't make it to the suit. Well, that's a very nice unit count advantage there for Christian. But Drake kind of needs to try and get a little bit of brawling going, just so you can start getting those supers falling and wreck the Vomble army. If that doesn't happen, then Vomble's just going to be ahead because the day-to-day is so much stronger. So well done for Christian being able to bully the Drake out of the game like that. Gee, I'm happy to get another game. Beta 7. Got to shoot. Kindle mirror. What are these airports? So this is standard. These airports are walled in by mountains. So you have to lock them. Lock them with a missile or fly your own copter down, I guess, and then the infantry can walk over and capture them. Mixed airport map. I think the Drake didn't... well, the Drake ended up falling behind in that capture game. In the capture games, it didn't feel like they could continue on. Didn't want to be aggressive, yeah. It's a Quack Cup map? Oh, this is a Swab It map. Silvera tournament map. Okay. Well, we'll see how this goes. That's going to be a really annoying airport to deal with. Really, for both players. Make sure to go for the neutral base, indeed. The forward neutral base, so extra important to go for that one right away. I imagine that both players are going to go for a fast battlecopter. Or maybe one person goes for a fast battlecopter and the other person's kind of forced to go for the anti-air response. So it looks like ForgotToShoot gets the first battlecopter. Seems like some pretty big turn advantage going on there. That is a... No, goes for the tank buy. Really? Wild. Prophetic goes for the first battlecopter, yeah. The thing is, the battlecopter, it forces 2 anti-airs, essentially. There's at least a nice long road for the missiles to go down the street. You can build a missile. You can build it here, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you build a missile. It makes it down here not too long. But the battlecopter can swing over here, force an anti-air built over here, and then it just swings across the water, forces an anti-air over here. Nice and annoying, but it's oftentimes, I guess this might work out for ForgotToShoot. I would say it's oftentimes worse to get the second battlecopter because your opponent, right? Like you build a battlecopter, they build a battlecopter, and now you can buy an anti-air in response to the battlecopter that they don't have. But I guess the idea is like the tank is already here to deal with the anti-air. Overload the copter. No anti-airs bot. It can only interrupt on one side. This is definitely the better side to interrupt by the by. Because this one already has a backup infantry for it. This guy doesn't have a backup infantry currently. So, way stronger interrupt. We do have Profeta also going for an infantry capture on this city. And ForgotToShoot went for the central interrupt. That's also pretty good. Stops here. Stops that capture. I assume an infantry is going to interrupt here. It's a little bit madness not to. Does interrupt. No vehicles bought. Had to buy the anti-air to deal with this copter. Okay, Profeta does just take the infantry kill. Builds an anti-air over here. Are we going to try and have the copter fight the copter? We're going to build another anti-air. Goes tank infantry. Now, I don't... the tank infantry is fine. I would also be fine with base skipping from this base because it's kind of awful. Like, it takes so many turns for these infantry to get out here. And an anti-air... having an anti-air on both fronts could be very nice. I guess this copter... Yeah, this copter is unable to actually defend this capture without being bopped by the other copter. Too bad. Whoa, just lets a tank do it. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice body blocking by ForgotToShoot. No anti-air over here, just a tank. We do have an infantry moving in range of the airport. It's gonna force another copter to get built. Tank got built down here, so the copter swings over. You have the anti-air over here now. Okay. I mean, the copter gets forced to be built, but it's not like it's the worst thing in the world to build a copter there. Although it does mean you can't build an anti-air from this base. So you could build a transport copter instead so that you can afford an anti-air. Ooh, this comm tower does get denied. ForgotToShoot gets theirs. Looks like we are building a battlecopter over here. Doesn't go the transport copter route. It looks like kind of fine. Like this copter didn't get that much done, so it's not like you needed the anti-air right away. And this one has actually managed to chase all the way over here. Right now, this anti-air is trying to. I guess this copter can't escape. No, it can. It can go here. The anti-air doesn't quite control all the shoals. If that happens, then the copter has like no great place to go. It has to like go this way or just hang out over here for the rest of the game. Ooh, ForgotToShoot gets the kill on the tank. Starts getting a whole bunch of these captures. Looking good. Is down a tiny bit of income. Some nice swings. Yeah, the copter able to squeeze in through here. Prophetic can kind of force that copter back by just moving the infantry back over. Which is definitely a little annoying for ForgotToShoot, but infantry plus anti-air is the same value as a copter, but 2 units versus 1, so it's still a bigger investment for Profeta to like force that kind of thing, rather than for ForgotToShoot to just have a copter over there. So no one's building a missile, despite that nice road. I guess it's not really needed in this situation. ForgotToShoot takes the income lead, starts capturing the other comm tower. It has to build a copter to stop this infantry from getting that capture. Profeta starts building up a little wall, sends an infantry forward to deny the comm tower. We haven't had a Kindle power used yet. Though they both have it available now. ForgotToShoot continuing the pressure on that comm tower. We're going to have to send forward another unit to try and deny it. Power would not be enough. There we go. While Profeta setting up to kill the airport next turn. Interestingly, puts this tank on the city. Does kind of encourage an urban blight. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The tank can't reach, so you can't quite urban blight clear it and then like put a tank strike from it. So it's probably okay. You have 2 copters waiting in the wings down here for Profeta. This airport looks super dead. As if a copter gets built, Profeta will hit Urban Blight and hit with this copter. That might not actually be enough because there's no comm tower, but it should be close. Huge swing in for ForgotToShoot. Nothing's built on the airport. Although the copter might be able to save it in conjunction with the urban blight. Profeta resigns as this huge attack in was too much. Profeta could use the normal power. I'm surprised Profeta resigned here. Could use the normal power. It will hit all these infantry, but I do think that Profeta is going to be in a lot of trouble as he's going to run out of infantry on this front really quickly. And then the vehicles are going to have to try and interrupt. They'll be interrupting against an opposing Kindle. GG. I know, if only missiles didn't cost 12k. These two copters ended up just getting pinned in by these two anti-airs. The anti-airs have more freedom. I like the play to take the airport, but I think being down that comm tower, like that ForgotToShoot denied this comm tower, ended up being a lot bigger than it initially looked. GG. I'll be ending the stream there. I hope everyone enjoyed. We'll be back on Wednesday with another chill stream. Should be fun. I leave you with an apple. And thanks for watching.
It's Go7, king of the penguins. Of all the penguins, he is king. It's Go7, king of the penguins. Being king of the penguins.